Welcome back to Just Say Something podcast. I'm Philip Clark, CEO of Just Say Something and the host of our podcast. Before we get started today, please share, follow, like, and comment on our podcast. It helps others find us. There's a phrase most of us grew up hearing: just say no. It was simple, clear, easy to remember, and at the time it made sense. The idea was if kids are faced with a bad decision, they just need the confidence to say no and walk away. Problem solved. But here's the reality. That's not the world our kids are growing up in today. And if we're being honest, it probably wasn't enough back then either. Because saying no isn't always simple. It's not always clear. And it's not easy when you're in the moment. When you're trying to fit in, when you don't want to stand out, when the people around you are your friends or your teammates or your circle, when saying no might mean being left out or judged or losing your place. That's the part we don't talk about enough. We give kids a simple phrase for situations that are complicated, emotional, and social. And then we wonder why it doesn't always work. Because prevention today has to go deeper than a slogan. It's not about one moment, it's about preparation for many moments. Think about what kids are navigating right now. They're not just dealing with peer pressure in person, they're dealing with it online, through social media, through group chats, through constant exposure to whatever else is they're doing. And a lot of what they're seeing, it's normalized. Vaping, drinking, pills. It always doesn't look dangerous. It looks casual. It looks social. It looks like something everyone is doing. So when we say, just say no, we're skipping over everything that leads to that moment. We're skipping over confidence, decision-making, self-worth, awareness, connection, all the things that actually determine whether a young person feels able to say no in the first place. Because here's the truth. Kids who feel confident and who feel connected and who feel like they have something to lose, they're more likely to make better decisions. Not because someone told them to, but because they've built the foundation to choose differently. So what does modern prevention actually look like? It looks like a conversation, not one big talk, not one awkward sit down, but ongoing, real conversations. The kind that happens in the car, at the dinner table, between practice and home, where kids feel safe enough to talk and not just be talked at. It looks like teaching decision making, helping kids think through scenarios before they're in them. What would you do if? How would you handle, not in a lecture, but in a way that helps them build their own voice? It looks like connection. Because kids who feel connected to their family, to mentors, to coaches, to their community, they're less likely to go looking for belonging in risky places. Connection is prevention. It looks like awareness, helping kids understand what's actually out there, because the reality is what's out there today is different, more accessible, more potent, more unpredictable, and pretending it's not doesn't protect them. It just leaves them unprepared. And it looks like community, This isn't just on parents or schools or one program. It's all of us. Every adult who interacts with young people has a role to play in what we say, in what we model, in what we allow, and in what we address. Because prevention isn't about control, it's about influence, and influence is built over time. Now, I want to be clear. This doesn't mean just say no is wrong. Saying no still matters, but it can't be the only thing we give our kids. It has to be backed by everything that makes that no possible. Confidence to stand alone, clarity about consequences, support from people around them, and the ability to think in the moment, not just react. That's what we're working toward at Just Say Something. Not just awareness, not just messaging, but equipping young people with the tools, the support, and the environment they need to make better decisions before they're in that moment. Because by the time that moment shows up, it's too late to start preparing. So instead of asking, will they say no? Maybe the better question is, have we given them everything they need to be able to? That's where prevention lives. Not in 2 words, but in everything that comes before them. Thanks for being here, and thanks for being part of the conversation. Until next week, we'll see you then.